The New York skyline is iconic. The city has one of the most recognizable topographies on Earth. From the infamous Statue of Liberty and the lights of Times Square to the sprawling Central Park, it's a city that has been immortalized in film and culture across the world. There's nowhere else quite like it. For generations, people have been able to look to the Manhattan skyline and navigate their way around the city by simply looking up at the landmarks and using them as guiding beacons. From the Chrysler Building and Empire State Building to more recently, One Vanderbilt and Hudson Yards. Now suddenly, those beacons are disappearing from view, not because they've lost their importance, but because they're being boxed in by newcomers like the Five Points development on Fifth Avenue. On paper, it's just another tall residential tower. In reality, it's a direct threat to one of the most beloved skyscrapers ever built, the Empire State Building. You see, the Empire State Building isn't just an Art Deco marvel. It's part of the fabric and identity of New York.
This building was designed by a guy named William Lamb, and it only took him like 410 days to build it. It's crazy, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Despite opening in 1931 during the Great Depression, it's become one of the most profitable real estate ventures in New York's history. More than 80 years later, the building generates hundreds of millions of dollars annually. Not because of office rent alone, but because it mastered something other towers never did. It became a symbol of America's ambition and resilience. More than 4 million visitors head up to the observation decks each year, paying between $44 and $79 a ticket. That adds up to well over $100 million annually just from people coming to see the view. In fact, the Empire State Building makes more money from tourism than from offices. From a shaky start during the Depression, the Empire State Building became a blueprint for how ambitious skyscrapers can be iconic and succeed financially.
So when I grew up, the first thing that comes into your mind when thinking about New York City is the Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building.
Here at the Empire State Building, I think it's definitely something I never thought that would happen.
With its ability to create spectacle, it's what the Eiffel Tower is to Paris, what the Burj Khalifa is to Dubai. It's the city's calling card. And yet this slim tower on Fifth Avenue now blocks some of the clearest sight lines to that global icon. The view from Madison Square Park, once postcard perfect, has an intruder standing in the way of the iconic structure, rendering it invisible. New Yorkers have noticed, and they're not happy. The bigger picture is this. As more pencil-thin towers rise, the city's landmarks are being swallowed up. Other global cities like London, Paris, and Los Angeles have strict rules and air rights to protect key vistas. New York? Not so much. Here, if you own the land, you can usually do what you want with it. Preserving views has never been part of the city's DNA. That's why, once a view is gone, it's gone forever. Still, blocking a landmark isn't the whole story. What really frustrates people is when a building takes from the city without giving anything back. And that's the issue here.
I don't think the New York skyline would be, anywhere as near impactful as it would be today if not for the Empire State Building.
I mean, I see that building from my house. And like once I see this building, like I know I'm in New York. It's just, that building to me is like New York.
The Empire State Building is a major economic structure of the city. For cab drivers especially, that's where we make our money.
262 Fifth doesn't excite, it doesn't contribute, it just looms. A tall box with a thin profile, built less to inspire New Yorkers than to attract millionaires' bank accounts. The project was designed by Russian architects Meganom in their first American commission. It climbs to 262 meters, but instead of offering hundreds of homes, it contains only 26. Each apartment averages over 3,000 square feet. Compare that to the 700 square foot average for a typical Manhattan home. The average unit is expected to be priced at $16 million. Given that there are 26 apartments in the building, the developers will make a minimum of $416 million. This isn't housing for locals. It's real estate as an investment product, an address for the ultra-rich, often left vacant most of the year. And that's why critics call it tone deaf.
The more you understand it, the less subservient you are.
The structure itself is an engineering showcase. With a footprint barely large enough for a townhouse, it stretches skyward to a slenderness ratio of 1 to 19, even more extreme than 432 Park Avenue. To stop the building from swaying in the wind, engineers punched a gap 2/3 of the way up, letting gusts pass through. The core was shifted to one side, freeing up vast open interiors that can be customized by wealthy buyers. It's clever design, but design that serves profit more than the public. At the top, a private sky lounge will host events for residents. But if history is any guide, most of those residents won't be living there full-time. Instead, 262 risks joining the city's growing roster of so-called ghost towers. Billion-dollar buildings that stand dark and empty while the city beneath them struggles. That contrast is what really stings. From the street, New York feels as lively as ever. But its housing market is brutal. Half of renters spend more than 30% of their income on housing. The city builds only about half the new homes it actually needs each year. And yet new towers keep going up, with a handful of apartments for billionaires. It's no wonder people feel cheated. New York has always been built on ambition, on boldness, reinvention, and profit. That spirit gave us the Empire State itself. But today, the math is clear. Developers make more money selling 26 luxury condos than 100 mid-market homes. And so that's what keeps getting built. Not for the people who need the city, but for the people who can afford to collect it. Perhaps that's why New Yorkers are gravitating towards figures like Zohran Mamdani.
What?
Let's talk about the housing crisis. Unless you're wealthy, it's basically impossible to find or stay in a home that you can afford. We need more housing, a lot more. That means taller buildings near subway stations, upzoning wealthy neighborhoods, and eliminating the requirement to build parking lots. But we should guide these changes through comprehensive planning, not a piecemeal approach. New York City is a majority tenant town, but too often our government works for the landlords. It's time to take the power back and build housing for the many. Let's get to work.
But New York's billionaires, like Bill Ackman and Donald Trump, aren't happy about it.
Hey, Bill, why do you find Mamdani so threatening where most Americans seem to want him as mayor?
I don't want to threat. Well, I mean, I think socialism is not good for New York.
Yeah?
I think that's
No, I don't like to see a communist become mayor, I will tell you that. And I don't think you can win unless you have one-on-one, because somehow he's gotten a little bit of a lead. I have no idea how that happened, but I'd prefer not to have a communist mayor of New York City. And that's what he is based on his policy. If you look at his statements in the past.
262 Fifth Avenue isn't alone in this trend, but it stands out because of what it takes away. Not just a view, but a sense of connection to history, to community, to New York's very soul. That loss can't be priced in dollars, but it's something every New Yorker feels. What do you think? Is this just more of the same capitalism that New York was built on, or is there a need for government intervention? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching. And if you want more deep dives on our changing world, don't forget to subscribe to the Toposcope.